All right, so now where do we follow up with? Now, what we're going to do now is look at how that physical formation is developed. So now, as a child, inside mom's belly, you're shaped like the letter C. So as you grow through those weeks, 20 weeks, 30 weeks, 40 weeks, by the time you're hitting into that developmental growth, again, over that second trimester, you're starting to push that head into mom's lower belly to pelvis, hopefully, if not upside down, and your butt's turning underneath. So you're kind of more shaped like this, like a C, more than anything else. So all of a sudden, birth happens. Welcome to life. The first cruel reality of the world is that we now have gravity immediately affecting us as children. So the first curve that we get is actually our neck curve. So our neck curve forms, horrible curve, but best I can do right now. The reason that neck curve forms is because your head weighs 1/3 your body weight at birth. So if you were a 9-pound baby like me, that means you had a 3-pound head. So imagine, I'm about 210, so that means my head would weigh 70 pounds. I'd have a pretty thick neck. So every time you look up, those muscles are pulling those vertebrae back into place. So each one of those days going by, you get more head control, more head control, more head control. All of a sudden, we prostrate ourselves up and we go into our second developmental phase, and that's the crawl phase. Now we have a cat or dog phase where we're like a cat or dog because we're starting to form out that middle back hump. We're starting to arch up, cat and camel, just starting to form that out. And our neck curve's getting huge. I'm not sure about you, I have 4 kids, but I've woken up some mornings and I look at my kids laying in bed and they're like heads touching their butt. So it's amazing flexibility at that age. And then finally, last but not least, we stand up on 2 feet. So this is the most unique aspect of how a child is formed, is through gravity. So now that kid's standing there on 2 feet. Now they're kicking in their butt, they're kicking in their shoulders, they're kicking in their head, and all of a sudden you get this nice stacked position. So that by design is not mistake. So again, you go back to that buffer and you realize that, hey, at 0, I'm upside down floating in a fluid-filled sack, and then all of a sudden, cruel, harsh world, here I go, I have to transition through this thing called gravity, and then each developmental part. The sad part is, guys, not this. It's the vehicle that we start to take on as we have this. So now this is a bipedal, upright, walking animal, bends, twists, turns, everything you want to expect. And then all of a sudden, we default to that space right there, okay? That's an L shape, not an S shape, not a C shape, not any other shape. It's an L shape. So that's going to be where the majority of our defaults start to come in. We start to roll into that L-shaped spine because, again, what adulthood brings. So let's go into our next subject here. Follow along with me.